And we are so excited because this is the first event of our annual Day of the Ancestors Festival of Masks. This is our 11th year producing this amazing gathering and months-long celebration of the African diaspora coming from Leimert Park, the African American cultural hub of Los Angeles. And this is our second year doing what we're calling Diaspora Dialogues. Last year, we were blessed to be able to present all of our activities virtually in recognition of the challenges of the pandemic. And we are continuing this incredible opportunity to bring together members of that African diaspora from all over the world to connect artists from Leimert Park with the global community. Last year, we had artists from Leimert Park speaking to artists in Bahia, Brazil, to artists in Johannesburg, and in Lagos, to name just a subset of the conversation. So this year, we are so excited to be focused on Senegal as our the focus of the Mass Festival overall. We like to have a country of focus, and Senegal is an amazing, amazing place to focus. I've actually been there myself. It is one of the most dynamic places on the earth. Dakar in particular is where I've been. And food, fashion, music, you name it, culturally, Senegal has it going on. And we are so blessed to have two dynamic members of actually the Los Angeles community by way of Senegal, Malik So and his amazing son, Magat So. If you heard that drumming leading into this program, that energy is what we're talking about here. I mean, that is some amazing drumming. And I can't wait to have this conversation with these two. It is such my pleasure to bring together this family of drummers, and just to talk about West Africa, Senegal in particular, and the Mali Empire, which in all of our history education, we talk about empires everywhere except Africa. And the Mali Empire was one of the greatest empires in ancient times, but we don't know a lot about it. And that is really the lineage that these drummers come from. So we'll get a chance today to talk about that, to hear from these wonderful artists, to explore their relationship to each other and to the music, both ancient and modern. And I am just really looking forward to that conversation. So, just to give you a snippet, and hopefully they will, through the conversation, you'll get to learn more about their background. But Malik So is one of the most sought after drummers, I think, in Los Angeles. He is an incredible performer, having performed all over West Africa when he was there, and then moved to America and has done the same thing and become, a person who is both a performer as well as a teacher in a wide variety of contexts. And one of his best students, I have to say, is his son, Magat, who not only, continues the family tradition, but performs, with all of these incredible artists like Angelique Kidjo, and he's performed with Stevie Wonder, and I think John Legend. He can tell you all the people he's performed with, but, bringing that, his amazing talent to those contexts, so much so that he is a Grammy winner. So I am going to welcome them into the conversation now, and welcome Malik and Magat. How are you all doing today? Make sure you unmute.
We are doing very fine.
Good. So, I think maybe we can start with, sort of just talking about where you're from and, sort of where this music, this amazing music that you make, where does that come from? We can start, just thinking about drumming in Africa, in the Mali Empire, and the importance of that music in the place where you come from.
Oh, hello everybody. It's a pleasure and an honor to be part of this panel, and very happy for you guys to invite me either in your car, your living room, wherever you are. We'll be pleased to share with you this small meeting. Yes, happen to be born in the continent of Africa, and a country is the western part of Africa is called Senegal. Is also part of the Mali Empire, and being a Mandeng and a Fula, I studied hearing drums, playing drum, listening to my mom singing, and that's where I grew up. And it gave me the chance to study a lot of instrument from West Africa, and to go to school and to be part of the National Dance Company and touring all over the world. It then leads me to come to, after Europe, coming to United States and to be able to pass on the torch for what I study over there to this great land.
So maybe talk about how the came from the Mali Empire. I mean, we can talk. What I want to do is just lift up, just the incredible what happened during that time period. From about the 13th to the 17th century, and just really focus on the music. I don't know if you want to add anything, Magat, in terms of your connection. Oh my God, Magat his camera's off. So just for our audience, as I said, the Mali Empire went from the 13th to the 17th century, I think, with the apex being, in the 14th, 15th century. And they had a long line of kings. And there was, and Malik, please remember if I'm not representing this well. The kings were called Mansa, is that correct?
Yes, Mansa Musa.
Okay, so and Mansa Musa, is that one king, or were they all called Mansa Musa?
No, it was one king called Mansa Musa.
Okay. And do you want to talk about Mansa Musa? I think you should talk about the history, because I'm sure you know it much better than I do.
Yeah, Mansa Musa was actually the richest person in that time that lived there, because he was traveling from Africa to Mecca and sharing a lot of wealth in every country that he goes through. And he was not going to discover any country or any continent, but he was there to share knowledge, wealth, and connection. So that's way before colonization started coming to the western part by the French, the Portuguese, the British. And he has a lot of component that I'm just going to touch a little bit on that, because we have a lot of space to cover. Then, because on the music side, that's when, after we have another king called Sunjata Keita. Then in 1426, that's where we created that beautiful instrument called djembe that you heard in the beginning of this ceremony, I can say, or this talking. So that's where I came up to, because I link it to the music side. Beside being a scientist and everything, astrology and everything, there was the culture of music that was in my heritage, from my mother's side to my father's side. Like I said in the beginning, being a Manding and a Fula, the multiracial part of that, where the music component that I have and I can share came up too. And I pass it to my son, who happened to be my payback from my creator, because whatever I was not able to achieve
bunch of different ways you can do this. So
seeing
with your
it
layout,
in right now
how it's laid out,
through
you want it compact,
music
one video,
and through culture.
grid of videos,
From the beginning,
like that,
the ancestor, we call it in my dialect Chosan,
you can come in here, stylize this whole
to where we are right now.
have design of complete control.
So everybody say Chosan.
You can upload videos and you can either let it
yes.
free videos.
I'm so glad you brought that up.
YouTube, from
I mean, I want to hear from Magat, but the whole theme of our Day of the Ancestors Festival of Mass this year is focused on
and then what's going to happen is it's going to load up
Chosan, and that is
and that's like a series or a channel. So maybe you've got a website channel.
And moving
you have all videos.
And
you'll
so
choose
that's
when you're
exactly
going live.
What Malik is talking about.
And then what you'll do is you'll come in here, you'll upload a stream, you'll title the live stream, you can
Empire, which is so incredible and provided all of this knowledge, learn music,
finished,
you know,
being live right
just
after you're done recording.
A really great foundation for the culture of Senegal and many of those West African countries that were in that area.
I wanna jump in very quick because I was talking about the payback of my creator, because I could not have Maget if I did not meet my late wife Marianne Faye, which was an outstanding dancer from the Ballet Africain of Senegal that stayed with me and gave me that beautiful son.
And we all know, if you have any connection to the African dance community in Los Angeles, you know that Marianne Faye was a giant in this community. So you know, how amazing for Magat to have, you know, this incredible these incredible parents. And Magat, do you want to just talk about your lineage and how that has lifted you up in terms of music and, you know, just being the great person that you are, not just the music?
Well, I want to start off by saying hello to everybody. This is Maget So speaking. A lot of people can know me by Maget Fall. To explain a little bit on that is one of my dad's best friend, Maget Fall, the late Maget Fall. My dad named me after him. So most of the time when I go to East Coast, everybody just call me Maget Fall, Maget Fall, Maget Fall, Maget Fall. And any conference I go that Maget Fall used to go to, they would just keep the last name with me. And I happen to play the same instrument that he used to play, which is the talking drum. So that's why everybody calls me Maget Fall. But my last name is So for everybody to know, of course. Having two wonderful parents, my father Malik So, my mom, my late mother Marianne Faye. Being born into that family is amazing because I've learned so much with having Serer in me, having Fulani in me, and also having Manding in me. So that right there explains why I play djembe, why I play sabar, why I play, you know, kutiro, why I play all these instruments, because it's in my blood, it's in my DNA to be able to play it, and also have wonderful parents to show me the right way and the correct way to be able to play these instruments and listen to the music. So yes, I would say I'm happy that I was born in the family that I am. Like I said, I'm Sere, that's an ethnic group. Fulani is a different ethnic group, and Manding is a different ethnic group. So I have all three of those in me, which explains why I am the way I am.
And so do those instruments cross the different ethnic groups? I mean, I really feel like in Africa in particular, the instruments actually have a spirit. I mean, I don't know if that's true, but it feels like it to me. And so how does that relate to the different groups and the different instruments? Can you just talk about that?
Well, each instrument, of course, has its own meaning, and especially I can start off by not even saying the playing, but the instruments that we use, the wood we use, dimba wood, is spiritual. So it's for healing. We use these instruments for healing people and entertainment. So talking about the djembe, Manding instrument. If we go into Kutiro, a lot of people don't know it's a Manding instrument. You know, but when we talk about the djembe, Sabar originally come from the Sere people, which is my mom's people and my dad's side, of his mother's side, which they are Sere too. So all of these drums come from, you know, people that I'm linked to. So it's all family, but the Kutiro and djembe are specifically Manding. And the Sabar comes from the Sere and the Wolof people, mainly Sere. So that's the difference.
Okay. Malik, you want to jump in here and talk some?
Yeah, I mean, my God explained to it very, very clearly, and with not a heavy accent like me. So, and exactly that's what happened. And he learned it, the Sabar, the Kuturo, the djembe, the Bugarabu. Let me jump in very quick before we go to a personal father to son thing. There was a guy that I cannot say by accident that called me one day. He said, okay, hey, I have some legal issue, come pick me up. So I went to pick him up. That guy was a balafon player from Senegal. And I hosted to my house for many months with his family. And one day I came from work and I heard the sound of the balafon in my house. And I said, oh man, that guy he has a very nice melody in his balafon. And my big surprise when I opened the door, that was not the guy playing balafon. That was my dad. So while I was going to work, he was hiding and studying that instrument. And that talent he have is just, like I say, a payback for me to whatever me and his mom, late Marion Faye, we did. We trying to leave our legacy to him so he can carry on. And especially his mom forced him to learn, to study her, to study her steps, her language. And Maged and I, we barely speak Africans. Since he was raised, it was only English. He learned African language by himself, a little bit from his mom. He learned Wolof, listening to Yusundur singer, and everything. When he goes to Africa, he just get in and mingle. And that's it.
This is a cultural genius you've birthed. It sounds like.
Yeah.
Taran, why don't you show the picture, that amazing picture of Baguette when he's, very young. I want to let's have our audience enjoy that picture. I don't know how long it's gonna. Oh, there he is. Can everybody see that? So adorable. So what is that, a djembe? Is that a djembe that you are playing?
Yes, that's a djembe.
Okay. Look at that. So maybe talk a little bit about that photo, like what's going on there.
Dad, you want to go or?
No, go ahead.
If I'm not mistaken, this day I just told my mom and dad I wanna do a photo shoot. I think it was before. I think it was before we was going to a show, and I said, I want you guys to put out the camera. I wanna have a photo shoot for myself. So this picture is actually a couple of them. Yeah. But
I love
I believe this was my second djembe that I've had. Yes.
So how old were you when you started drumming?
Let me answer that.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, we were in that time. We was in the group of Leon Mobley called the Djembes, and we were living very nice. And I was in my room, and I heard some crystal clear note. I was thinking maybe that was Omar Mboup, all the people that was here, that was part of the African community, the old time hang out to our house. I was thought that was one of them. Actually, again, that was him. The slap note and the tone was so clear and clean. I said to myself, he's gonna be good. He's gonna be good.
And what age was this?
It was 2.
2. Oh
yeah.
My God. That's a so that was osmosis. He was just picking it up.
Yeah.
I wanna, you know what? I feel the need to like share, and forgive our audience, but I really want to show you the Senegalese instruments, because we're talking about them, and let's see if I can do this and not be too disruptive. But we're talking about them, and you know, it's like, what are they? So actually, Google is amazing. I looked at it on my phone, and they actually just list. They have a list in Google. Oh, let me go to Google first. Because it's and most of these instruments were developed in the ancient times, I think. Right, Malik and Maget?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we don't have to go too deep, but I just want people to know as we talk about them, and just kind of the sophistication of the. Okay, when I pulled this up on my computer, it actually showed pictures. But let's see if this one will. Oh, maybe images.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. So here, this is a kora, which is like a kind of a stringed instrument. And then you have the djembe. And then what was the other drum you talked about? This is a kora.
Yeah.
With the, and then let's see. This here's these are the sabar drums, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other ones you want to point out as I'm going through this?
You went past the talking drum. We have the talking drum that was up there.
Okay. Just tell me where it is.
To the top, right there.
This is it, right?
Up there to the right. Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So, I mean, what I want to ask is, you know, just kind of these instruments come together. You know, not being a musician myself, is a little bit difficult for me to, you know, sort of think about how to talk about it. But, you know, how do you decide which one to play? I mean, is it just like, you know, any band, you have a band of these ancient instruments, or what is the approach in terms of using these instruments? And I guess I'll stop sharing right now.
Okay.
Yeah, on the Manding side, we use a lot of kora, djembe, but the string instrument we have in the Manding side, kora, halam, kamelingoni, all of those instruments, they're from the Manding side. and they build like a harp. And the talking drum joined them, because like in Mali, there is a lot of ceremonies are not led by a djembe, but by a talking drums. They have different styles. Some of them, they kneel down and played it. On the Wolof side, they stand up and have it under their arms. So it depends which tribe and what language you're using to be able to do what we call the communication, because that's the purpose of a drum: communication, healing, and entertaining.
You know, I'm just thinking about like the talking, like where did that come from? Like why was there a drum created that, I mean, and I've heard people actually play the talking drum and actually, you know, kind of can understand what the drum is saying, but you know, why did they create that drum?
Well, like every tribe, you see the talking drum you have from the Yoruba. They have big talking drums, big one, and is increase or decrease. Now, they are a tribe called the Walo Walo. They are almost up north of Senegal, a place called Richard Toll. That tribe of half Wolof, half Tukulur, half Fulani, those are the people they created. It's a very, very secret instrument too. Because we don't, most of the time we don't use a goat skin in the top, we use a lizard, the belly of a lizard. That's how the vibration and the sounds come from. So again, there is no way that you can create a drum that is not based on something spiritual or something going for healing, because we believe the only things there is the animal, but you take an animal life to get a life drumming. So it's a continuous thing, and the wood is still alive too. The soul of the tree is still alive. So you got to learn, when you go to a school of drumming, they teach you how to wake up the soul of the tree.
And how do you wake up the soul of a tree? This is so fascinating. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Exchange every year to take my student to Africa. And my late wife used to do it with Maget. The last time I went with a group of guys, and in that time, my teacher did not pass away yet. So I leaned down there having my big chest, getting ready to show my teacher that what did I did in America. So we went to the village, and we found an old man lying down, having a pipe and smoking. So I wake him up, said, hey, okay, I'm here, I got my student. So I was just in my chest doing this, yeah. So he greeted us, and he asked me, which one of your students is the most advanced? So I said, okay, hey, that's Paul. So there was an old djembe laying down there. So he asked me to tell him to go get that djembe from me. So Paul too is a very arrogant guy too, like me. He walked away, get the drums. Once he picked up the drum, my teacher got very mad and asked me, tell him to leave the drum there, leave the drum there. So I said, oh God, I'm in trouble. What did he do? So when Paul came back, he asked me in my dialect why he did not respect the drum, why he did not wake up the soul of the drum. There is a certain way to pick up a drum. then my only alibi was because when we go for initiation, we are allowed to show things they teach us. Some they tell us don't teach it. If that person wants to know, you gotta come, got initiated and study. So I say I thought I was not allowed to teach them. He said yes, now you can. Then I taught him how to wake up the soul of the drum, how to pick up a djembe. So it grew up from my experience on the knowledge and the instrument become very secret and very healing. That's why every tribe they have a significance of why that drum is very spiritual to them.
So Maget, did you go through an initiation?
Of course.
Do you want to talk about it, or is it secret?
No, it's okay. I can share a little bit about it. With going back and forth, with going back home and having a lot of teachers come here, because in the 90s, when any of the Africans that would come to LA, they would live in our house. If they don't live there, they would always be there every day. So our house was like the base. A lot of the drummers that would come from Africa, most of them didn't really play djembe until they got to our house. A lot of people didn't play certain instruments. But we've had numerous of teachers that came. Late Mansa Musa, they came to our house and lived with us. It was a ballet that my mom was in. I believe my dad was in as well. He showed me a lot of stuff. With him sleeping with me in my room, we had to share a room. So it's like when we're about to go to sleep, I ask a lot of questions. What is this for? What is this about? What is this for? Like, I'm going to show you when you come back to Senegal. So he's one person. Had another person called Abdoulaye Jahate. He also passed. That when we used to go to Tambacounda, I would always sit with him, say, okay, give me this, give me this, give me this. Tell me about this. What is this for? And he would give me plenty of information that is needed traditionally, because he comes from Tambacounda, where the djembe is really at in Senegal. And we have other people like Oman Boop, that has put a lot of information in me and gave me a lot of information. So going back home and actually sitting with cats that's actually, like listening to me and just waiting. So when I pick up a drum and start playing, they say, okay. And they really start listening. And I had to go through a path with them back home. But also, yeah, it's just having a lot of teachers. Kisima Jabate, if you know Kisima Jabate, he's a percussionist, a djembe fola that I really love. And in the younger age, because the way he performed and the way his notes are and the way he takes the stage it was big to me. And having my dad around, schooling me, being with him all the time, doing drum classes at schools, doing all of this, and us taking a break and asking questions to him. It's a lot of stuff I had to go through at an early age.
That sounds like such a beautiful way to grow up, in the culture. I feel like, one of our challenges as, African Americans, sort of, Maget, especially you, I feel like you're kind of a bridge, is like not being steeped in that culture. And like for you just had like such this rich, all these connections with these amazing elders, and then to be able to go back to the roots and, connect with that. If there's a question from the audience that's really focused on why you decided to take the path of, promoting the traditions as opposed to being more commercial and Americanized. I could see though, I mean, of course you have your own answer, I'm sure, but like, how could you disconnect from that? I mean, that is it's so beautiful. So you want to respond more to that question about, the path that your music is taken?
I believe that I don't really have a choice, because it's not like nobody forced me to do it. Like, no, I have parents that are very intelligent. My dad went to school, got plenty of degrees. So they will always be like, do what you want, follow your heart. They wouldn't force me, okay, you have to play the drum. But the drum, I would say, we always had a relationship, because my drums, when I was younger, when I go to sleep, I sleep with the drum with me. Yeah, I would. Anytime I used to have one of my uncles who used to live here. They always used to fix our drums. Lamin Chubu. Anytime he pull our drums, like after I'm done, I say, okay, I have to hold the drum. When I go to bed, I take it with me at an early age. So I feel like I was in the drum and the drum is in me. So I didn't really have a choice. And music is, I believe, the thing that gave me life, because it's something that I love doing, and it's in my blood, it's in my DNA, it's in me. I don't have a choice, to answer the question.
Yeah, it's really a beautiful, just kind of this opportunity to grow up, with it, and then to be able to, sort of create a path. But, from my vantage point, like, our job is to find that thing that's in us that, we are meant to bring it to the world. And, that sounds like exactly what you have had the great honor of doing. I'm thinking maybe, Taran, maybe we could show the picture of young Malik in his days of performing around the world. So just to bring that, it's such a cool picture. We can't not show it because it's so awesome. So why don't we put that picture up? I just love it. So, yeah. So maybe, Malik, you can talk about that picture and, what it represents in your life.
Okay, where is the picture?
It's I can see it. Can you not see it?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
It looks like me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, is this kind of long time picture that me and my young brother Malan Bayo, that reside right now in New York City, we went back to Africa and meet again our teachers. While he was in the dance field, I was of course, in the drumming field. And this hat was given to me by my drum teacher. It's too bad it got stolen. But yes, after we did like 45 days hanging out with him, after we did a final ceremony, that hat was representing my certification, and I gained a lot of approval, that I get approval from my teachers to say, okay, you can share this, you can share this, you can share that. So I was very honored and very proud to put that hat on my head. and it was composed by authentic African material, and I got a lot of shells on the side, and the shells, you know, most of them in the old Mali Empire, the shell used to be our currency. So it was, you got to be very rich to have a cowrie shell. So as you see in my head, I was having two banks. I was having Bank of America on my one side and Wells Fargo on the other side.
Love it.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the what that hat represent.
So,
and
so let me just ask you. So it sounds like you were taught certain things, and then you had the choice. I mean, or you were given permission to share. So what is that about?
Yeah, even over there in Africa, there are some African, they can be talented, but they are not initiated. You got to go to the school of drumming, the school of life, and they prepare you to be ready to be in front of all kind of situation in life, from being a teenager, and prepare you for your manhood, for your fatherhood, and to live in all kind of situation, even in a different weather. Because when I first came to United States, I came to a wrong place with like this kind of clothing, very big, and I was in Buffalo, New York. Just to remember that name make me freezing. Yeah, yeah. So that's where I was prepared enough to be going under that weather, because you can see in the Dogon tribe in Mali, where they wear those mud clothes because they are hunters. The weather is very hot. Wearing a couple of mud cloths is get you, I mean, extensive heat. But you are trained to know how to cool off inside. You can wear 3 of those clothing and you don't even sweat. So if you want to know how to do that, you come to my class and bring me some chocolate croissant, then I help you out.
Oh my God, I love it. One of the things I'm craving right now, and this is, not necessarily what we talked about in terms of the, the script that I initially wrote, but I'm craving like the connection to, these ancient traditions, because I think, and just the way you talk about learning how to live, like it's almost like we've forgotten how to live. We have all of these challenges, and part of it is because we as humans at this moment have lost touch with, kind of the knowledge that you're talking about. Is that, how do you think about that? Both of you.
I actually feel that now social media is good, but it's bad in one way. You guys hear me?
Yeah.
I think social media is good, but it's bad in one way. A lot of things are being lost because a lot of people are quick to go to social media to get information, or just want to get on YouTube to get certain information. But it's actually different from going to somebody and actually sitting with the elder and getting information. Even with living, it's like, okay, I'm watching TV, I see somebody living a certain way, You try to adjust yourself to live like that person instead of finding yourself and finding what you're supposed to do for yourself.
Right.
So
right. And that's what I think was so great about your upbringing, was you got like that direct knowledge from, you know, all of these amazing teachers. So
yeah, like for instance, let's say with djembe, with learning djembe, you have to learn how to play a complement before you learn how to play solo. And my dad would be strict on it. Like, okay, play a complement. You have to play a complement. So it's years of that before playing solo. Now, it's like you watch YouTube, go see certain people or watch videos on Facebook or anywhere. You see people soloing, so now people will just pick up a djembe and just start soloing. And that's not the way to start playing djembe. No, you have to go through things. You have to be able to play a complement until your body accepts and, you know, is able to handle that first. There's always an order in anything that you do. And with djembe, you have to learn how to play a complement for years. Because there's people that still play only a complement and they're in their 60s back home. Because if you play at a festival or at a ceremony in Africa, no matter where, I'm talking about the Western areas, if you come to a ceremony or anything you play, it's going to be 2 soloists there, and everybody else is playing a complement behind. You don't get to play solo.
So when you say complement, you mean basically kind of being the support for the soloist.
Support, a complement. That's what we mean by playing a complement. You playing, you're keeping the rhythm tight in the back.
Right.
Playing a complement, while the solo players, the masters, are playing in the front.
Right.
But you won't find that now.
Yeah. If I can jump in, is the accompaniment part that tell the story of the dancing. If you're playing Jalidon, which is called Lambang here in the United States, Jalidon, in African language, don means dance. And Jali is the griot. Jalidon, the dance of the griot. We have Jalidon, Maracadon, Jondon, Wolosodon. Everything ending by don means dance. And the solo in Western language is going from an order, play a disorder, and come back to the order. So if the people are telling the story, which is the instrument composed, low and high instrument, they tell the story. At the end of drumming, when you play it right, your body becomes the instrument. The djembe you have is just a tool. But your body becomes the instrument, the motion, the movement, the undulation, everything the dance is doing. The solo is just following when the dancer, he or she, explain the story of saying, I went here, I went there, I took a cup of tea, and this is where I landed. And somebody else come tell the story. Somebody else tell the story. While the general accompaniment part is just keeping the foundation of the rhythm. Because sometimes in days, rhythm can be so fast, and if you far away, it look like they're playing cans. Because you don't distinguish the first accompaniment, the second accompaniment, the third accompaniment, everything is high, ting, 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 high. It's like it become a show business. It become more shows than really traditional. Now, I can tell my things. If you are, if you are in a new situation, you take a new position. If you arrive to a place, everybody's dancing fast, playing fast, Of course, for the sake of the things you guys doing, you get on board and start playing fast. But everything gotta start slowly and go up. You never start your car and just put 65. You go 5, 10, 15, 20 until you get to the speeding limit. So that's the joy of the harmony between the dance and the drum. If there's different level, there it become more noise making. And for the dancers, feel sorry for them because at the end of the day, when they go home, it's going to be a lot of Epsom salt.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so what you're saying to me is that, it gets back to this idea of communication. So there's all of this communication that's happening, when drumming's happening, when between the drummers, between the dancers, et cetera, to tell the stories.
Yeah.
And to share the ideas.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if maybe we should play a video right now. And I know we have a video of the two of you playing together, and then we have some of Magat. Maybe why don't we play the one of the two of you all together, Taran? Just so we can really witness this amazing artistry of you two, and just see the interaction that has been built up since birth. What are we seeing here? What is this clip of?
This clip, this was a video we took when we were recording for Black Panther.
Awesome. Oh, I didn't even mention that. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yes.
So I mean, that must have been an amazing experience all around. So you guys tell us, how that was to be part of such an amazing reflection of, the diaspora, I would say.
Yeah, it was a beautiful experience having to record for that movie, and having responsibility of even composing a lot of it on the movie. It was beautiful having Ryan Coogler in the room and him just being happy and like, okay, you guys doing great, and explaining what he wants, what kind of energy he wants, and me having to think and bring new ideas for it to happen. And once it was done, it was beautiful. Everybody was happy. Ludwig, amazing guy, was there, very supportive and helping, and telling me what to do, telling me, okay, this is what he wants, and allowing me to bring my own stuff in, and it was a amazing project. It's great.
How did you get involved? How did they?
It was through a mutual friend of ours that contacted us and came to one of our classes and said, these people are looking for African drums, and connected with us and had us come in.
And then they talked to both of you, or like you brought your dad in, or how did that work?
Well, how it happened is one day the guy came to class and my dad was there before I got there. So the guy communicated to my dad, and once I got there, my dad pulled me to the car and said, "Okay, this guy is looking for you. What are you doing this time? Are you touring during this time?" And I said, "No, I'm here." It's like, okay. And the guy came to me and we had a conversation, and he called me on the phone the next day. And we had more of a conversation. He told me about it and the idea. And once we got to the studio, that's when Ludwig made it more clear to me.
And Ludwig, was he the music supervisor on the project, or what was his
composer? Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The whole movie.
Great.
Yes.
Great. So how was that to do that together? That must have been so cool. Not only to be part of this, like, I mean, when I saw that movie, I was just like, oh my God, I want to be in that movie, like in that place. And so to get to, be on such a positive, a positive portrayal of, our culture, and then to get to be creative, as part of that process must have been just incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing, and it's something that has been done. But what makes me more happy about this specific project is that it's nothing computerized. If you understand what I'm saying, when it's with African drumming, and African movies, you would hear more computerized stuff than actually hearing the right instrument and actually seeing scenes that's going on in the movie, and you actually feel the drums, so you could see the connection between the drums and the scene and things that are actually going on, because this is not the first movie we've played on. It's Amistad. If you listen to all the drumming, all the djembe drumming, you hear my dad's hands playing. And Amistad, I was just watching it yesterday, and it's like, how many years ago? And it's like, it sounds new to me when you hear it. Poetic Justice, my dad is in the playing, In other movies, Ali, you see my dad there. So it's not the first time it happening, but this one, I could say we pushed it to another level to make our point by saying we need these real drums in movies instead of having computerized stuff that's incorrect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the drums are powerful, and I think they, bring like another level of energy and
definitely.
Cultural realism to this.
Right.
Do you want to say something, Malik?
No, for now.
I mean, I love that you all, you're bringing your cultural power to to movies, to the community, on stage, and we'll look at a video of, I think we have videos of you, Maguette, on stage, performing on tour. I think it's so important to have these instruments recognized as significant. I mean, I feel like African drums are like the root of almost all music, to be quite frank about it. Like if you listen to a lot of the Caribbean music, like that's popular, salsa, cumbia, like all of that music is rooted in African drums. And then
Definitely.
We were having this conversation, my family and I can't remember when it was, but we were talking about the Rolling Stones and how much they stole like music from all those old blues players. which, you know, if you, I mean, and I was telling you all about my trip to Senegal and Mali, and just hearing the griots outside my tent, and it was like I was listening to like some American blues. Like, so, you know, African music is so influential in terms of, you know, the you know, all of the music that we hear almost. I mean, do you have thoughts on that?
Definitely with the instruments, even with the instruments, like if we're talking about congas, of course it's Latin, but it comes from Africa. If you really dig and search, it's come from an instrument called the ngoma from Congo.
Yeah.
So yeah, so a lot of it, you know, I think that if everything is coming from back home, it's honest, it's true.
Yeah, it's incredible, the power. I mean, what do you think, Malik? What's your thought on that?
I mean, I'm gonna go to the same path because when I was young, there was a lot of festival. There was in 1965 one of the biggest one that happened to Senegal, Festival Mondial des Arts Nègres. And in that time, we have a president, Senghor. We invited all the diaspora. In that time, that's when Catherine Dunham came and happened to pick up Mr. Zach Diouf, Dr. Zach Diouf, that resided in Auckland right now, and Mr. Mocham, which is they were residing in St. Louis, Missouri. That was way before Papa Laji Kamara started the drumming. There was Mocham and Zach Diouf, brought here by Catherine Dunham. And the fact that it came to the foundation of that we have down there when we organized the festival, that there was all African countries, the diaspora was there, African American, Brazilian. It was just amazing. It was just one. It was like you playing different pattern, but having one voice. That's how it went. Because you could not differentiate, he's from Congo, from Zaire, he's from Benin, or he's from Brazil, from Guatemala. Everybody was there. And that beauty that I had the chance to witness all the festival, no school, nothing, just go see things. That's where you really learn. That's where you really learn. You can go to school and get a lot of degrees, but somebody that doesn't have no degrees, travels, meet different culture, that person is more wise than you. Is more wise, got more wisdom than you. That's why the cultural exchange. I see in the panel a lot of my friend of my late wife, that I was gonna say that at the end, because when we got here, we was welcomed by, like, Nzinga Kamara. She was a good friend of my wife. We have Sister Mariada, we have Sister Margie, and so on. And you go all the way to Seattle, you see Sister Francesca. They was inviting us all the time, all different festival, Bamboo Shoot Festival. So we were going down there, and we even had a trip to Tokyo that I was not able to go. And I sent Marianne and Maguette. They went to Tokyo to do a big festival down there, because I was ready to go, but at the last minute I had a kidney stone. I could not travel. So I let them go, and they did an outstanding job down there. Only him, Oman Boop, and Abdul Doumbia from Mali, Asan Conte. They all went down there, and it's just a learning. It's all the time. It was a teaching moment. It's all the time a teaching moment.
I love that idea of the world, you know, the gathering of the diaspora. God, can we do that now? That would be so awesome. We need it.
Next weekend.
Right. Right. So maybe we can play a last video to kind of take us out that shows Maguette and his, you know, on tour, just so we could see, you know, how amazing he is bringing this, continuing to bring this, the drumming and, you know, its power, you know, to audiences all over the world. So maybe tell us about what this is, Maguette.
Okay, this video, this one. Oh, okay, this is in Senegal.
Oh, perfect. I love it.
This is in Senegal on the beach. This video was actually, you know, I just woke up one morning and I was like, I want to do something. And then I just called up all my cousins and friends, and I said, okay, let's all meet at the beach. Everybody bring African clothes and everything. And I called my friend that's from London. I mean, from Senegal, but he lives in London, and his dance group was there. So I called him and I said, okay, let's all meet there. Let's just have some fun. And it was just us just having fun. So yeah. It wasn't nothing planned or anything at all. I just woke up one morning and said, okay, let's have fun.
Oh, this is so perfect to go out on.
Yeah.
Wow. Incredible. That was the perfect close. And so we are so grateful for this family to come and have an exchange today and talk about their amazing trajectory from Senegal to America and back. And I don't know if you have like a one, just a quick thing that you want to say as we close today, each of you.
What did you say? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Is there any closing thoughts as we move towards the end of this amazing discussion?
Yeah, I would just like to thank you guys for having us on this and wanting to know more about us and, history of Senegal. And yeah, I would just like to say for people that want to learn from the right people. I'm not going to say learn from us or learn from anybody. You can learn from wherever you want, but make sure the information that you're getting is correct. Get the correct information. Learn. You gotta crawl before you walk. Don't just come into the game wanting to just walk and run. You have to crawl first. You have to go through a lot. Yeah, you're gonna have to beat up your hand. Either you're drumming or you're dancing, you're gonna have to go through it and get from the right people. Ask questions. Want to know the meaning of a rhythm. Know the meaning of, the step or a pattern of playing solo. Or play a compliment, please. Play a compliment. You have to play. You have to start off with that. Play it for years, And thank you for having me. And that would be all for me.
Well, on my side, I want to thank all of you for giving us again an opportunity uh, to meet our students, our friends, that we know each other from different states, that either did travel with me or did travel with my late wife, Mariam Faye, to Africa. And the talks keep going on, you know. We are still here following her legacy and try to step up in it. Like Maget said, we gotta learn. And I have some very good friends, Latif Tunkara on the panel too, that have a lot of knowledge on African history. But it's good also to do some research and learn about the African history, because there is a lot of confusion between the empires of Mali, the empire of Ghana, the empire of Songhai, and there is a lot of things that we can learn. It's not only the drumming and the dancing part, but there is the education what we teach at the schools. I do a lot of school shows for the music center on tour, and we go from one school to another, you know, to give them the right path, the right step, the right seed, what they will discover. Because every time we go there, we found out even the teachers are taking notes, because we got the facts right. Oh, I know it was this. So you ask how many language there was in Africa, how many dialect, or how many, you know, people, a lot of things don't know. So we have ongoing classes all over the United States that go, like Maget said, be humble to ask the question to your teacher. Doesn't matter, just ask question. It might be right, might be wrong, but just ask question. A good teacher is a good leader, is going to guide you and understand what your question is leading to. So the LA Common is doing a very outstanding job. There was Brazil before, now we have Senegal. I pray that gold be expanded to different places and to different talented, that the more we know each other, the more we can forgive each other, the more we can, because everything is just understanding. We have to understand each other. We don't need to know each other, but we have to understand each other.
That is a great way to conclude, and I am so appreciative of you both, and we really look forward to this journey over the next couple months, you know, under your artistic leadership as we really explore Senegal more. We have 2 more dialogues, one on May 16th, one on June 13th, both at noon, and we'll explore more of Senegalese culture during those conversations. We're going to have workshops as part of Day of the Ancestors, as we always do, from May 8th to June 12th. Sign up for our newsletter. Again, our amazing teachers, Maria Elena Cruz and Ranika Adachi, are going to be sharing and supporting. They're amazing teaching artists, so you'll be learning about these traditions and having hands-on participation. And then, of course, the big day is June 27th, and that will be a day of culminating in, you know, the wonderful expressions that will be created over these next couple months. Music performances, dancing. It's going to be a wonderful celebration of Senegal and the diaspora overall. And again, we will be exploring this concept of Chosan, which is really focused on pulling from the past to move forward into the future, which we all want to do successfully after this pandemic. And we have the opportunity to do that because, as we talked about today, there's so much wisdom in our African cultures, and we have the potential to draw on that, or the opportunity to draw on that. So let's do that together. Sign up for our newsletter. Go to www.lacommons.org. Send us an email, info@lacommons.org, and we will make sure to sign you up if you're not already on our mailing list, and you'll get all the information about what's upcoming. And, you know, this is such an important and beloved aspect of our work, to bring the stories and these traditions forward in celebration and support of the Leimert Park community, as well as Los Angeles overall and beyond. So thank you so much, everyone, for participating, and we look forward.
I just want to jump very quick, Karen.
Sure.
Very quick. I invite everybody to come to Senegal, and we have some wonderful person that you can contact with Miss Mariaga, or you can Sister Margie, Barbara, Francesca. They will help you, give you more information. You're going to be there for a treat. Come to Senegal. Thank you.
I love it. Yes, we're you know, as soon as it's safe, we are there. I'm serious about that. So everyone, get ready for a great opportunity to go and really experience this culture firsthand. And with that, this concludes today's Day of Dialogue, and we'll see you sometime over the next couple months, hopefully. Thank you so much, Malik and Magat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, these, okay.